It took me 10 years to learn this. I'm giving to you free of charge. Comfort is why you're still broke. Let that sit for a second. If your budget feels easy, if it feels safe, if it doesn't force you to think twice, you're not building wealth. You are maintaining a lifestyle that's keeping you exactly where you are. And if you don't understand this by the end of this video, you're going to lose years of your life thinking you're making progress when you're actually standing still. Why is this so? Because we claim this to be the pattern interrupt. It's what causes you to stop and pause a moment and take a deeper look into the perspective of your financial freedom. Because without acknowledgement, you have nothing sad but true. Let me challenge you right now. If I looked at your bank account, your transactions, your subscriptions, your habits, would I see growth or comfort? Because those two things do not exist in the same place. However, you cannot have a comfortable life and a fast-growing financial future at the same time. And most people try to balance both. That's why they stay stuck. Your brain is not designed to make you wealthy, it's designed to keep you comfortable. Comfort equals safety. Safety equals survival. So every time you build a budget that doesn't challenge your habits, your brain rewards you. You feel in control. You feel responsible. You feel like you're doing something right. But here's the dangerous part. You can feel responsible and still be financially stuck. You can feel disciplined and still be broke. Because feelings are not results, and results don't exist from luck. Instead, they happen through systems that grow your income into wealth. So if you're looking for growth, I suggest you stay engaged with financial discipline. I can't help but laugh about that because I guarantee you weren't expecting to be told this after all. If I was a gambler, I'd say you had been handling your money all this time, running on emotions instead of systems. Well, now that you're seeing the reality of this, maybe you understand why you stay so broke all the time. Comfort equals safety. Safety equals survival. So every time you build a budget that doesn't challenge your habits, your brain rewards you. Well, then here you have it when you feel in control. You feel responsible. You feel like you're doing something right. But here's the dangerous part. You can feel responsible and still be financially stuck. You can feel disciplined and still be broke because feelings are not results. Let me break something down that most people will never admit. Your budget is built to protect your comfort, not your future. You made sure rent is covered, you made sure bills are paid, you made sure you still have money for food, entertainment, convenience, and then whatever is left, you might save, you might invest, you might use it wisely. That's backwards. Wealth is built in reverse. Wealth says, take the money first, then figure the rest out. But comfort says, take care of everything else, then maybe focus on the future. And that maybe is why you're still here. Because when you're waiting around, rely on your future with the leftovers, what do you end up with? Nothing, because it's all gone. That's why I can't stress enough the importance of paying yourself first and figuring out the rest last. While you're being comfortable, someone else is being aggressive. Someone else is cutting expenses you refuse to touch. Someone else is saving amounts that make them uncomfortable. Someone else is investing earlier, taking action faster. Because you can't build wealth when you're more focused on living in comfort, and they don't make more money than you. They just made a different decision, and here's what happens. At first, you don't notice the difference. 6 months, looks the same. 1 year, still similar. But then something shifts. Year 2, year 3, they're ahead, not a little ahead. Completely different life ahead. And you're still trying to tighten your budget. That gap, it started with discomfort. It started with the reality grasp, no more stalling and holding back the change for which was bound to happen. Look, can I be honest with you about my financial circumstances on the front end? Here's my personal story. In a very detailed, broken down description, I used to think I was doing everything right. I had a budget. I tracked my spending. I avoided obvious mistakes. And it felt good. It felt like I was finally in control. But nothing changed. Every month looked the same. Every year felt the same. No real progress. Just maintenance. And that's when I realized something that changed everything. I wasn't building a financial system. I was maintaining a lifestyle. And those are two completely different games. It was broke versus the wealthy. Which lifestyle did you study the most during this identity shift? There are two types of people watching this right now. People who want comfort and people who want growth. Comfort says, I deserve to enjoy my money now. Growth says, I'm willing to delay now to multiply later. Comfort says, I don't want to feel restricted. Growth says, I'm willing to feel pressure if it creates results. And you can't switch between these identities whenever it's convenient. You have to choose one. Because one builds your future, and the other keeps you exactly where you are. There isn't a nicer way of describing this any better cause. Lord knows I learned all this the hard way, that's why I'm telling you about this now. So you don't gotta suffer, you can just bypass this and move on down the road towards success. Let me give you a system. But understand this first. This will only work if you're willing to feel uncomfortable. Step 1. Aggressive awareness. Track everything, every dollar, every decision. Because what you don't track, you justify. Step 2. Forced cuts. Don't just reduce spending. Eliminate something that feels hard to let go of. That's the signal. Step 3. Immediate redirection. Every dollar you cut must have a new job. Savings, investing, debt elimination, no sitting idle. Step 4. Weekly pressure check. If your budget feels easier over time, you're slipping. Adjust it, tighten it, push it. In a moment, I'm going to give you the one number that will instantly tell you if you're serious about wealth or just pretending. But before that, you need to understand why most people avoid it. Don't let others leave you behind, stressed to the max. Instead, here is why people avoid discomfort. Discomfort exposes truth. It shows you where you're undisciplined. It shows you where you're emotional. It shows you where you're making excuses. And most people don't want to face that. So they build comfortable systems that allow them to feel productive without actually changing anything. That's the illusion. And if you stay in that illusion, you will never break out of the cycle. After all, let's be upfront and honest with one another. Here's the number, your discomfort gap. The difference between what you could save and what you actually save. Let me make it real. If you could save $500, but you only save $100, that $400 difference, that's your comfort, that's your delay, that's your future being pushed further away. And most people never measure this, because if they did, they'd have to admit they're capable of more. In a moment, I'm going to give you the one number that will instantly tell you if you're serious about wealth or just pretending. But before that, you need to understand why most people avoid it. Here are some of these reasons why people avoid discomfort. Discomfort exposes truth. It shows you where you're undisciplined. It shows you where you're emotional. It shows you where you're making excuses. And most people don't want to face that. So they build comfortable systems that allow them to feel productive without actually changing anything. That's the illusion. And if you stay in that illusion, you will never break out of the cycle. Here's the number, your discomfort gap. The difference between what you could save and what you actually save. Let me make it real. If you could save $500, but you only save $100, that $400 difference, that's your comfort. That's your delay. That's your future being pushed further away. And most people never measure this, because if they did, they'd have to admit they're capable of more. Look, I'm not sure who needs to hear this, but urgency plus. Future projection. Right now, you are building a financial future whether you realize it or not. Every decision, every dollar, every habit is compounding. The only question is it compounding in your favor or against you? Because comfort compounds too. Slow growth, missed opportunities, delayed action, it all stacks up. So I'm going to challenge you directly. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, open your budget. Find one area that feels safe and cut it deeper than you want to. Not because it feels good, but because it creates growth. So there you have it. I laid it all out on the line for you, for me, for everyone to grow from this. So if this video hit the spot, I recommend you hit the like button and subscribe and give me like And if you're looking for real systems that tend to be life-changing, I suggest you check out our Master Debt Reset system. It's packed with 100 plus pages and more for a small fee of $5, and you will receive growth if you step into the systems with full intentional actions. Comfort will keep you stable. Discomfort will make you wealthy. You don't need more motivation. You need a system that forces results. And if you're ready to stop playing with your money and start building real momentum, check the link in the description, because the difference between where you are and where you want to be isn't income. It's the pressure you're willing to apply.